Hi everybody, it's Kathy here, and I am bringing to you today another 100 pattern paper challenge layout that I've created using my 100 papers that I selected for the year's challenges. Now this one was a weekly challenge in the group, and we had to create one for a food oriented theme, and we need to include some metal on it. So I've chosen these papers to work with today, and they are extremely old papers. I've had them since I first started scrapping back in 2004. So that's a long time that they've been sitting in my kit, and they're finally going to be used today. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm just trimming down the edges, because I also found a frame that's sitting in my scrap box. So I could put this into Baby Got Scraps, but I'm not going to. And it is being trimmed down just a little bit on each side. I think I've just gone 1/4 of an inch so that I can fit it onto the frame. And the reason I'm putting it on the frame is just to give it that little bit of an extra boost. It is a very busy bottom page, and even though you do have a busy bottom page, you can still add to it, and that's what I like about these type of papers. So I like that it's saying all things like caution, unbelievable, trouble, all those sorts of things, because my photos are of Krispy Kreme donuts, and yet caution, they are trouble, they're too much, but they are so good. Twisted and toxic, maybe not, but they still are unbelievably out of control when you have too many of them. So during our holidays every year, we tend to buy the sampler box pack, and so I chose to photograph that and record it for this layout, but not only just for this layout, but for the fact that every holidays that's a treat that we go for everybody. And this time they had a Ghostbusters theme for the Krispy Kremes, and I like it how they put themes out through their menu. And so this one was a Ghostbusters, and so therefore that's also tying in with the themes of the paper as well. Now I'm just mounting each of the photos onto this avocado coloured, maybe a pistachio coloured cardstock, and that picks up the green that's in that paper you can see that I'm using as my base paper. And the best thing about that's one of my favourite greens, and also I can then use the cut-offs for cutting out leaves and so forth using a leaf punch. Now I'm just going through this second sheet of paper, and I'm selecting pieces that I'm going to be using as backup pieces that I'm going to be layering in underneath the photos. It is always tricky when you have a busy paper of how you can add to it and what you can do to build the layers in there. So as you can see, I'm tucking in the stripes down the centre in behind the photos there. I'm also going to trim down this one here that now has a horizontal stripe, and I'm going to make that into a fishtail banner. Now I don't want to cover up the main words there, but I do want it to peek out across the layout, so I'm going to put that there. And out of my scraps I found this black and white stripe, which I'm going to add just to lift it a little bit. And then down the bottom here I'm going to use this skull and crossbones part into another little fishtail banner, which I'm going to stick in down at the bottom. And I actually realise that that's too long, and I trim it down a little bit more, and that's going to tuck in just there. So you can see how you can add more, even though there is quite a busy and extensive design on the underlaid. So I've put everything down as I mapped it out there generally, but you can see a little bit of cutting and threading that I did there. So the word toxic, I cut around that so it went over the top of the photo. I also cut around the skull down the bottom and allowed the photo to slip in behind. Now I'm cutting up here so I can thread a band through, and the reason I'm threading the band through is because I want that word caution to be there, but I also want to make another point of interest across the layout. And so that's why I've sliced into the design, and that allows it to place nicely into the top of this page and give me an anchor point for that other banner that I want to include. Now you'll see I thread this through, and then I realise I've threaded it through in the wrong spot, so I have to pull it out again and re-thread it through the correct spot. And that's because when I first cut it, I cut it in the wrong spot, so I'll just use that tool. But you can't see that now that that's in place. But you can see the black and white going through underneath, and now I'm going to put this little fishtail banner part that I cut from the skull down the bottom, and I'm putting that there to the top, and that has now set up another anchor point. Now, as I said, this challenge required me to use some metal, so I went through my charms and I found some skull and crossbone metal charms, and I'm adding those at 3 key points around the layout. Now, I also went under the photos and I took out some of the hexagons, and I'm going to fussy cut around each of those and place them strategically around the layout to give some dimension and to pop them up on their layout from the base, and that just gives a little bit more point of interest for the eye to roam around and makes this layout just a little bit more balanced. Now, where I place them, that's strategic in the fact that I want your eye to roam the layout, but I don't want it to overpower the layout. So I just look for those hexagons that are available, and I do want a green one over there to draw your eye to that green, so I'm just looking underneath all of the pieces that are stuck down, and I'm looking for a green one, and I find one which I'm now just going to slice out of the backing. Because my photos are there, you can't tell, and that's where I'm going to pop it up over there to the side, and that gives me 5 hexagons popped, which makes it even around, well, pleasing around the layout for your eyes. Now I've put in another piece of metal here down in this bottom corner, and I'm just looking for the best spot to place this last piece of metal, and it is a skull and crossbone, so it keeps with the theme of the page. And I'm thinking it needs to go here in the corner somewhere near that photo. So I just place it around, think about it, place it around, think about it, and eventually I decide I'm going to put it up there in that corner. It's just a matter of where it's going to sit. And I finally decide to sit it on the edge of that fishtail banner. Now you can see that the layout is almost finished, but to make it really pop more, I'm going to add in some faux stitching with the white gel pen or white marker, and this just allows all the colours to just pop on their own, and for the white allows the skull to pop out. It also allows that white donut to really pop as well. So by doing a simple thing like this in a colour that is on the layout, you are actually drawing the eye to the photos. So it's taking away all that busyness, it mutes it down and brings your eye back to the photos. And as I said, Krispy Kreme donuts aren't something that I will go and purchase in bulk very often, but I do it once every school holidays. And my family, of course, with so many adults, they don't last very long, but they do like when I go and purchase them. Personally, this one, I love that Ghostbuster one because that's like marshmallow, like liquid marshmallow on top, and it's so delightful, and I love marshmallow. So that was a good one that I enjoyed. My son loves the Nutella nut one that's in there. I cannot buy enough jam-filled ones. My family love the jam-filled ones. My daughter loves the lemon, so she liked the lemon-filled ones. So there was quite a good range this time for them to devour. Now I have added down the bottom some Krispy Kreme donut holiday treat as my journaling, because that's what it is. And just to finish it off, I'm going to add some, well, at first I thought I'm going to add the purple stickles, but they are a little bit older and they're a little bit thicker, and they didn't come out the way I wanted them to come out. So I first put them on, and then I didn't actually like them, so you'll see that I remove them, and because they're wet I can remove them pretty quickly, and I go back to get my purple pops of colour, and I put those in 3 places around the layout to draw your eye down, and they're on hexagons, and I'm just going to flick them underneath, and that's how I flatten them to get that enamel dot look. And there you have my layout. It's a very busy layout, yeah, but I like it, and I'm glad that those papers are now used and out of my stash and into my album, so that's a great bonus for everyone. And as I said, it was a 100 patterned paper challenge, and it was to use your pattern papers that you selected on a food related layout with some metal. So I have metal charms, and I have met the criteria for the challenge. So thank you for watching today. Thank you to all my subscribers who keep coming back. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that button and find out some more of the pages that I'm going to do in this 100-page challenge throughout the year. I really appreciate everybody stopping by and watching. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. Happy scrapping till next time. And here's my next recommendation. See you in the next video.